In this video, I'm going to give you a rocket fuel book review and the 10 big ideas that I've taken from this book. This is going to be a fantastic video for you because you're a business owner and you will most likely be able to relate to many of the stories that are given within this book. So you as a business owner or a founder, you will most likely have big goals and big visions of what you want to create. But you're also not afraid of working, taking action every single day, and you maybe feel like you're doing a bit of admin, you're doing a bit of accounting, you're doing a bit of sales, you're doing a bit of operations. You are doing a bit of everything. And throughout your journey, as you start to build your business and you start to build teams and systems, the chances are there will come a time where this book will become very, very relevant to you. This is the book called Rocket Fuel by Gino, Wickham and Mark C. Winters. These are the actual authors of a part of this entire series. It's Traction, a great book that I'd highly recommend as well. But this Rocket Fuel is really specifically targeting the visionaries stroke integrators within the business. So I'm going to give you my 10 big ideas and let's begin. If this is the first time you see me, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I talk all things taking massive action in building businesses. Over the last few years, I've built a number of our operations, a number of our businesses to the point where I have a team. We're in this warehouse. We've got different locations around the world. And this is very, very much applicable to me right now. But also, I've always been passionate about building systems in business and really believed in the philosophies at scale you need to start developing and growing teams and systemizing your business. So I've read multiple books over the years and I can recommend so many more. Such as obviously Traction, which I've just mentioned. There's also the E-Myth Revisited. There is Clockwork. There is Work the System. There's many different books, and I believe it's a case of trying to find the right sort of fit for your business. But let's get into Rocket Fuel. So the first big idea is really the introduction of what they call the EOS system. This is the Entrepreneurial Operating System, and this is 6 components. The first component is vision. The second component is people. The third component is then data. The fourth component is then issues. The fifth component is then processes, and then the sixth component is traction. And this has been one of the big ideas that I've taken from this particular book and this whole philosophy in Traction. But it makes sense if you think about it. When you're trying to build a business, and this is a system that is quite generic and it can be applicable to many different industries. And that's what I would say one of the things that you have to take away from this whole sort of understanding and philosophy, that you have to apply it specifically in your industry. So this isn't going to be catered for, I don't know, if you're in e-commerce or if you are an agency. It's not really specifically structured to your industry, but you having the knowledge, the experience, you'll be able to take what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But if you think about the EOS system, it makes sense. The 6 components. The first thing is you need to decide a vision, right? So for me, in my business, it was, we've got a vision to build a big e-commerce business, whether that is through selling online, third-party marketplaces, whether that is our warehouse operations and diversifying that through fulfillment services. We've got a huge vision, and you as the business owner, you will most likely have that vision. That's the reason why you've developed a vision. For whatever goals that you have, whether it is you want to become free, you want to have the ability to travel, you want to supply for your family, you want to work on your terms. So you will have that vision within you. Then the next logical step after that is you then coming up with, okay, I've got this vision. what people am I going to need? And actually, it talks all about the people within the. There's many different elements of this. Everything from the core values, core focus, to accountability, and a number of different things that you can go through. The third part then is, once you've got the vision, you've got the people, how do you know you're moving forward towards it? And that is through data. I've always liked, and I've always shared key performance indicators. I've always shared about how do we know what the status of our business is? Are we moving upwards or are we moving downwards? What's the priority of where we need to focus? After that, the most logical step after that is then it's the issues, right? When the data, the key performance indicators are not healthy, it suggests that you've got some issues. And therefore, there's a number of processes within issues. Once you're at that point, you've then got to go into your processes. This is your systems. This is your documentation on how you can systemize your operations to make the data in your business healthy, but continues to stay healthy. Standardizing your operations. How is your team working? And then once you're at that point, you then go into traction, which is your annual plan, your 90-day rocks, your quarterly rocks, everything from your monthly meetings to your weekly, as they were called, the level 10 meeting. So that's the big first idea. The second idea, the big idea is, and what this whole book really, really focuses on, is this whole idea of whether you are an integrator or a visionary or an integrator, right? You as a business owner, you will most likely, or if you're running a business or you're inside of a business right now, you will most likely be able to identify with one of these two roles, either the visionary or the integrator. You'll probably have a bit of both, but thinking about what you are and then looking at working you into that role and solely that role will help you really rocket fuel, and that's what the title of the book's all about, really rocket fuel the growth of your business. So what is the visionary? The visionary is somebody who has those big ideas. You've got visions for the future. You're coming up with many different ideas every single week. You love to tackle the big problems. You're solving big problems. You innovative. You are very much an entrepreneur. I would compare it to somebody like an Elon Musk, somebody who's that visionary, looking into the future, being able to see things before they're done. And then the integrator is somebody from a management point of view. They are the manager of your business, where they love to manage, structure, be able to ensure that the different functions within your business are all operating correctly. They love to have that accountability, making sure that everyone's moving in the right direction. They're imperative, and you're going to have both of them, right? So that is the big idea. Number two here is that idea of which one are you going to focus on into the future? Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to specialize? Because if you are an integrator, then doing visionary type tasks are maybe a little bit difficult for you, or it creates friction to you. You're maybe not you can't see the future, or you don't have those big ideas. But at the same time, if you're a visionary, you want to come up with more ideas. You want things to be done. You want to move forward into the future, and you want to build things. But then when it comes to the actual work of implementing, taking action, making sure the teams are all working and holding people accountable, that's where your friction may come. So it's really important to know the relationship between the two, the visionary and the integrator. This then goes into big idea number three, which is the discovery of who you are, right? And having that aha moment of, I am the visionary, I am the integrator. Because once you have that discovery, it's going to give you, it's going to feel liberating for you. It's going to be like, I can relate to this. This is what I'm experiencing in my business. This is what I don't like to do, but this is what I love to do. And the more time that you focus on what you love to do, that's when you're going to have the creativeness come out of you, and you're going to really propel your business. So there's a number of, I mean, it's all specifically on who you are. There's a chapter specifically on the visionary, there's chapters specifically on the integrator, and then lots of practical questions and lots of practical stories that will be most likely be relatable to you. And when you read them, you'll be like, okay, this makes sense. Specifically, like it has like tables in here where it will say the DNA of the integrator, what the common roles that you've got, the common traits and the common challenges. And you'll read those common challenges and you'll go, okay, that makes sense to me. That I can relate to that. So that's one of the things I really enjoyed about this, is because like the integrated DNA, here's what you are: personally accountable, decisive, good at planning and organization. You're a strong leader and a manager. It really it's like talking to you, and it knows who you are. And when you read it, you'll be like, that is me, which is a great, from a self-awareness point of view, it's very powerful. Number 4 is then the relationship between the two. And there's a great story in here which is about ham and egg in it, which is about two golfers when they're in pairs. One golfer may have a bad shot, but then you've got another person, the partner, who will then do an outstanding shot, and they're in fine balance with one another. So if one of them are a little bit low, then the other one might be a little bit high, and you prop each other up. And it talks about that relationship between the visionary and the integrator, and what the common rules and what you need to continuously think about to keep that relationship healthy. So you're on the same page, you're working in the right direction, you're not in conflict with one another. You know, the visionary is not stepping on the integrator toes, or the integrator is not stepping in the visionary toes. So that was another big idea out of here. Number 5, I've put here as the operational accountability structure. Sharing with you in your business a formula for an operational structure and what it actually looks like visually. I'm a very visual person, so to see this, it helped me massively. You've got the visionary and the integrator. So you've got the visionary at the top, then you've got the integrator, and then you've got major functions. Now those major functions may be different to many, depending on what industry that you're in, but as a general, it's like you've got your finances, you've got your operations, and then you've got your sales and marketing, right? So you've got like finances, everything, HR, admin, etc. You've got your operations, whatever it is that you're actually doing in your business, and then you've got your sales and marketing. That's the major hierarchy of the functions, and it's developing a leadership accountability chart. You know, who's accountable for what? What is it that they're responsible for? And that's developing your initial your leadership team. Now you may have other functions depending on the complexity of your business, but as a standard, seeing that visually and structuring your business in that way will help you to have that clarity, that certainty, and where you've maybe got gaps. So that was a big takeaway. Number 6, the 6th big idea was all about the issues solving track, and specifically IDS, which stands for identify, discuss, solve. This is really giving you a framework on the issues that you may be experiencing. So going back to the EOS, if you've got, you've got your vision, you've got your people, you've got the data, and now you've got issues. Issues are a big part of business. Every day something's happening, something has happened here, something's happened there, that's not healthy, that needs your attention. What you need to do is go through a great process of identify what the issue is at the root cause, not maybe what's on the surface, but dig deeper within your team to find out what is the root problem. Then you can discuss it, discuss it with your team, come up with different ideas, what it is that it might be, and then actually solve. How can you actually solve that issue from happening again? So that was a great big idea. Number 7 is then the annual structure. This is to do with your 1-year goals, what your 1-year vision is, and then breaking that down into quarterly rocks, 90-day rocks. And especially as you are transitioning in your business from a day-to-day sort of maybe just you taking action, you've got all hats on in the business, you're doing a bit of everything. As you start to build your team, you need to start expanding your horizon, not just from the day-to-day, but expanding it from a quarterly point of view. What is it that your teams are focused on over the next 90 days? And then you decide and commit those 90-day rocks. And then every 90 days you have another leadership meeting. You come up with the 90 days into the future, which is definitely something that you may find that you need to do, especially as you bring more and more team members in. It's hard to actually micromanage everybody. And it's important for you to start having those systems in place. So that was another big idea. The 8th big idea is the weekly leadership meeting. They call it level 10 meeting. This is once a week getting together with your leadership team or the people that you're closest with and actually having a structure for your leadership meeting, your weekly meeting. This is everything to do with good news and headlines of the past week, a review of your quarterly goals, your review of your scorecards, the data, the KPIs in your business, discussing any issues, going into priorities, and then it gets everybody on the same page. So having a weekly meeting is something that you need to do in your business. This then takes me on to number 9, which is developing those weekly scorecards for your teams. The weekly scorecards is the KPIs across your functions that are the most important metrics. So in sales and marketing, if that's like leads, if that is sales, having a pulse on your business. What is actually happening? Are we trending upwards or are we trending downwards? This is something, a big takeaway that I got from here. And then the 10th one is developing and knowing what your core values are and your core focus is. So it's really, really important for you to know what your core values are in your business, what your business actually is the DNA of your business, the culture of your business, and then what is the core focus? What is your business around, the actual focus of your business? Because as you grow your business and if you're the visionary, you've got all these ideas, this is what you want to do, this is what you want to do, here's what you want to do. You've got 1,000,001 ideas. But you've got to identify a core focus which keeps you on track, that keeps you focused on the one thing, instead of trying to become a generalist across multiple things. You start to specialize on a core focus. So I'm gonna have the link to the book down below. Just wanted to record this just to share the 10 big ideas with you. I'm gonna have a link. I do recommend the book. I recommend Traction. I recommend all the different books that they have available. Overall, I think it was a great book. I've certainly learned a number of different things from here. A few of the negatives, I guess, would be it is very much general. So you've got to apply it into your own business and sort of take some things that are applicable to you. So if you've got a business like an e-commerce business, or if you're maybe a bit more specialist or an agency or whatever it might be, you've got to take the principles and make it specific to you. That's one of the things that is definitely something for you to consider. But overall, worth reading, worth checking out. It's very, very actionable, very practical, ask you great questions, and ultimately you can apply into your business. So let me know your thoughts. If you have read the book, comment down below. Let me know your big ideas from the book. What takeaways did you get? Did you get any aha moments? And I'm going to I'm going to share some videos here of some previous sort of actionable takeaways I got from other books that you may be recommending, that you might be interested in. So take care, keep taking massive action in your business, and I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon. Bye-bye.